Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back for another day of our read alouds. I hope you have been enjoying our books so far. So today I wanted to read another back to school story to you. It involves one of my old friends, Curious George. So today we're going to read Curious George Goes to School. And if you've read any of these books before, you probably know that he's going to get himself in some trouble. So let's see what happens when Curious George goes to school. Welcome. It was open house at George's school, so the man with the yellow hat had come to school with George. I want to speak to your teacher, the man said. Wait for me, George, and don't get into trouble. I bet you can figure that he's going to. George was standing in front of the art room. He opened the door and peeked in. Uh-oh. Mr. Williams, the art teacher, was cleaning up. Hello, George, he said. My students will be coming by with their parents today to show them their work. The walls of the art room were covered with the students' paintings. There were paintings of dancers and farmers and racing car drivers and ice skaters. On one wall was a chart with the names of all the children. Each name had a star beside it, except for Alice's name. Poor Alice, said Mr. Williams. She said she left her painting on my desk, but I can't find it. Here's their chart. Mr. Williams. Here, George, why don't you paint a picture while you wait for your friend? George began to paint. Keep painting, George, said Mr. Williams. I'll be right back. And off he went. George kept painting, but it was starting to get very warm in the room. On a nearby table sat a big fan. That would cool him off. George turned it on. Uh-oh. But as soon as he did, I bet you're probably thinking, your brain's probably predicting, the fan blew the paintings off the wall and all over the room. George, cried Mr. Williams, running into the room. Look what you've done. Uh-oh, that's typical George. Mr. Williams turned off the fan. You better help me clean up, George, he said. George picked the papers off the floor. Some were under Mr. Williams's desk. One was stuck between the desk and the wall. Oh my gosh. When George pulled it out, it was covered with dust, as if it had been there for a long time. I wonder if that's someone that we know. It was a painting of a little girl riding a horse. That is Alice's missing painting, cried Mr. Williams. Now I can give Alice a star. So even though George made a mess, now he saved the day. When the paintings were all hanging on the walls again, the students and their parents arrived. And there was Alice's painting. And there was George's painting right beside it. Look at George's painting of him under a palm tree. Now Alice's name on the chart had a gold star next to it. Thank you for finding my painting, George, said Alice. I like your painting too. You should have a gold star. I agree, said Mr. Williams, and he gave George a big gold star. Oh, so even though George made a mess, He ended up saving the day in the end. I hope you enjoyed our read aloud today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.